What is up, you guys? We got some goodies for this car, and I want to show you real quick. And guess where they're from? Moscow Supercharge. If you guys haven't heard of Moscow Supercharge, go ahead and visit their website right now. It's runmsc.com, which is short for Moscow Supercharge. They've got really great products for the C32 and products for the E55s. They also have a lot of stuff for the M113k, for the M113s. This car right here, the SLK, you guys already know. I got headers from Moscow Supercharge. They sound great. They also have stuff for the M112, the M112k, the 156. Definitely go check out their site. But today's products that we got here, we got their split cooling package right here. This thing is built very well compared to the other products you would see online, which are just plastic. I mean, this material kind of seems like the material you would see in the Stanley Cups. It kind of like shields heat from entering inside, but I went with this just because of how great this thing looks and how the welds and just overall the product in general looks compared to, you know, the plastic reservoirs from different companies. This pretty much separates the coolant from the engine. So the intercooler on here underneath the supercharger pretty much shares the same reservoir as the engine coolant. So in terms of intake air temperatures, that's going to be really high. So this standalone reservoir pretty much separates the coolant reservoir that the supercharger intercooler shares with the engine reservoir. So intake temperature should be drastically reduced, and also, you know, allows you to run the car harder for a longer period of time. This is their kit right here. This you can use on the E55s as well. So I'll be showing pretty much how to install this kit, and we're going to go ahead and dive into it real quick. But I think I explained exactly what this thing does. This thing actually looks fantastic. It looks so cool. I'm not sure where I'm gonna mount it yet. It could be somewhere here or somewhere back here, but I'm leaning towards right about here. But we'll see where I end up putting it. So once you get the kit, this is pretty much all that is gonna come with. This is what came with my package for the M112k. I think I'll be using this. I don't think I'll be using this, and I think I'll be using this, but we'll see as we go. All right, so check it out. I went ahead and used this so I don't lose any coolant, and I went ahead and took this off of here. I'm gonna pull it off and try and save as much coolant as I can from the reservoir. That's why I've got a water bottle right here. It's actively draining. If you leave this cap on, it's gonna keep its pressure. Okay, the water bottle is getting full. I need to switch it out here real quick. Coolant is finally bled from the reservoir. If you guys can tell, I got a little bit carried away. I ended up actually finishing everything up, but I'm gonna walk you through everything I did. But after you're done releasing the coolant out of the reservoir, this thing right here, these are just like caps you can use to block off examples like these. So I went ahead and picked this up. You can get this at your closest auto shop. It's about like $8. It comes with different sizes. You guys can pause if you're actually looking for this exact one. I ended up using the 5/8 right there because this right here is perfect for 5/8. So I capped it off, and you can use a clamp. I use the pinch clamp right here, so this works perfect. Obviously, the hose that came from here goes underneath your reservoir. Depending on what reservoir you have, it just went underneath right there. If you guys can see that. So pretty simple. I had another clamp that I used. All right, right there. So this pinch clamp was factory. That worked perfectly on this reservoir. Also, the other thing I did was taking this line right here and routing it to your reservoir. This is just the overflow line. This overflow line came from this guy right here. So this connects to the engine top radiator hose. Also, you're gonna cap this off. And this cap you can get from a smaller kit. I had one already sitting in my garage, so I just stuck it on there and clamped it down, and that is pretty much all the routing you're gonna need. So I went ahead and placed my here, like I said at the beginning of the video. I drilled one hole in through here and used a tap-in screw. I went with this screw. I wanted to go with like something like that was like a 10mm, but this was my longest, so I just used it, and it actually holds pretty sturdy. This thing doesn't move at all, so I decided to just use one instead of two. Obviously, for drilling in here, you can use one of these guys and this thing right here. Just match it up to the screw that you're going to be using. Once you get a hole in there with this, then you're good to go. That placement right there is perfect. The hood closed perfect. Once you have that, once you've buttoned everything up, obviously my reservoir is filled with coolant. You could put water in there, distilled water, but just use the same coolant as what you extracted from here and then just top it back off. And guys, that's pretty much it. Like, I thought it was gonna be a little bit more complicated than this, but that's pretty much it. So you've entirely separated the engine coolant from the supercharger intercooler, and it's got its own reservoir. This reservoir, just make sure you keep an eye on this since it's been separated now. These I actually didn't end up using. This makes sense if you don't have the factory tee that goes from the intercooler to the reservoir right here. This, I'm not too sure. There was not really any instructions, but I don't really need it. Everything just fit perfectly. Also, I was gonna say, those of you that still have your secondary air injection pump, it usually sits right here. Obviously, you're not gonna be able to mount this here. So what most people do is, which I've seen, is mount it right about here because there's a lot of space right here. But I decided to mount mine here just so it's out of the way in case I'm working on the car or trying to take out the fan or working on any of the hoses down here or pulleys. If you do have your secondary injection air pump right here, just mount yours right about here. I kind of want to see how the reservoir works with the intercooler pump on. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug in my scanner. If you guys haven't picked this thing up, definitely go pick it up because this is what everyone is using now. It's a good idea I'm doing this because I'm not sure if any air bubbles went into the system, because when I undid the hose, I got some fluid out of it. Maybe there might be a bubble or two, but it's always a good idea to make sure the system is bled out so there's no bubbles in the system, because bubbles can cause some heating issues. If you guys want to see how I do this on the scanner without turning on the car, go to diagnose, Mercedes, automatic search. Yes, it's gonna read you VIN. Mine is C class up to 08/2003. And you can always check for that on the door right here. It tells you right here. And this one, you want to go to system selection. You don't want to do a whole system scan. And you go to the computer, which is the engine control module. That was a mosquito. Jeez. Make sure ignition is on. I have it on right now. And then you go to, it is actuation test. And this, you would scroll all the way down till you see charge air cooler circulation pump. Click on that. It's gonna say yeah. And then you turn off the ignition and turn it back on. So one click. And then you hit OK. And it should start running. Let's go check it out. So we do have some bubbles in there, but it's bleeding itself right now. I'm gonna run it for a little bit until all the bubbles are cleared. Also, when you do this, make sure you have a trickle charger on your battery. I'm just gonna let it run for probably a good 5 to 10 minutes. I know that's probably a little too much, but it wouldn't hurt at all just letting it run. I've got it on a trickle charger, but that's how you install split coolant on these motors. This modification is actually really great just to keep intake temps down. If you guys are actually really interested in this kit, if you need any discount codes, let me know. I will shoot you my discount code so you can order your stuff from them. They have this readily available, so once you order it, shipping wouldn't take long at all. If you guys are actually curious about shipping from Russia to the United States, they're able to ship. There are a few people that actually have gotten headers from them. Same with myself, which you guys can see over there. Stay tuned for the next videos actually, because we're gonna be installing some long tube headers on this thing. And I can't wait to see how it sounds. and I can't wait to see how much power it pick up, because we're gonna throw it on the dyno as well. So if you guys actually want to stay tuned for that content, go ahead and subscribe, and also smash the like button on this video if you guys actually enjoyed this installation video. I don't really do that much, but this is a video I figured I'll show you guys because this isn't on YouTube. The headers are over there. If you guys want to see, should I show you a sneak peek? Actually, I'll show you what these are. Most of you are probably like, what is this? But I've got a pair of high flow 200 cell racing cap. Definitely do not want the smell at all. It's not really gonna hurt me, and this, it's not really a race car, so maybe I would lose maybe about 5 horsepower. Having these would be nice. Superchargers love it when it's just free flowing, but these wouldn't hurt at all. And oh man, shall I show you guys the headers? Or wait till next video? Alright, if this video gets maybe 100 to 150 likes, I might push it for the next video after this video. Hey, if you guys want to see it quick enough, go ahead and smash the like button on this video, and we'll go ahead and see the headers real quick. If you guys enjoy this video, definitely go ahead and smash the like button. Catch you guys in the next video.